Hi everybody, we will do in this tutorial the rockets of Tintin. So it will be a little bit quick challenge, but it's not a too long tutorial. Okay, we are in Blender, so we can start with a cylinder. So I delete the cube, I delete with the key delete, I press Shift A, and after I add a mesh with cylinder here. And we can change the parameter to 6. It will be more easy for after. Okay, after we can go to the edit mode. So I press tab, I go to the top, and I will move a little bit for the body of the rocket here. So we need a long body, so I press G, Z to have something really long. After I press E, it's already Z, so I don't need to press that. But if it was not your case, you can press Z. I click middle here. Okay. I scale a little bit and I do a last extrusion on the top. For the top of the rocket, and I press S like this. More small, like this. Okay. It seems really square, but don't worry, after we put a modifier on that to subdivide a little bit the rocket. After I take an edge, so I go to the edge mode, I click here, I press Alt, and I press here for the bevel. So you can see, you can adjust the bevel like this, and we increase the number of the segments here, not too much, because we will put a modifier on that to make that more smooth. And after, you can take the top and you can bevel here, and I press here a little bit like this, okay? And we can increase the number of the segment to 3, for example. Okay, it's perfect. We have the top of the rocket. Okay, just after I move a little bit down, I take this one and I will do an extrusion below E, and we can do an extrusion like this. Okay. And after I press S to scale a little bit like this. Okay. After we take one edge here and we go to select loops, edge rings, and I will do Ctrl R to do some cuts. I press here with Control, and we can increase a little bit to have a 5 section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's perfect. After I click outside and I change the tool. After, I will take one face here, one face here, and one face here. So you take just 1 or 2 faces. We will do some extrusion. So I go here, extrude region, extrude long normals. So I press here to have something like this. I scale a little bit. Okay. I do again. So always select extrude long normal and not the others. I scale a little bit. I press G, Z to move a little bit down like this. Okay. What we can see, this part is exactly the same on the top, but it's a little bit shaped, so we will just duplicate a little bit. So I go to the top. I take this part here. So I press Control And we can do a duplicate in the same object. So I rest in edit mode. So Shift T. Okay. And we can go here. Okay. After we need some extrusion, but we will complete that now. So what I will do, I will change to the X-ray mode. I take here. I take one with the loop. I press F to fill. I press E to extrude, and the Z-axis is already selected, so this is perfect. As you can see, it seems like a drop, you see. Okay, and it's perfect here. So I press S 0.8. Okay, and I do another inset inside, just like this, you see. And after I do an extrusion on the top, an extrusion below, and I do just an inset like this. Okay, it's much perfect. After we need to reallocate that, so I take the face, so I go here, I press here, and I go to select, link it. Normally it select all the objects. So I go to tree. Okay, as you can see, I press G to have something more like this. And you can go to the left view just to move like this to be in contact with the rocket. Okay, it's good. So now we can do exactly the same on the opposite. So now I will just press Shift D to duplicate, always be in edit mode, enter. I go to the tree, I press G, and I move that. Okay. Okay, we need to move and to be sure that it's in contact with the rocket. So I go here, I press top. You see it's not in contact, so I press G. I move exactly where we want here. Okay. And we can watch where is it. Okay. On the top, I do exactly the same. I press Shift D, enter, G, and we can move like this, you see. And we can just align the line here on the middle here, like we have seen. Okay, and it's good like this. We will add some material here, so I press here, I go to material, I press new, and we can rename that rocket, red rocket. And we will choose the color that I indicate here. I press enter. And also we can change the roughness to 0.2. I have just assigned the material to the rocket, as you can see, and we can go to the preview here. Okay. I change the roughness to 0.2. I change a little bit the red to this one, so I think this is much better. After, to be more precise, we can take some selection below, so I go here. Yes. And we will add a black material, so I press plus, new. I change to black rocket, and I change the base color to something black here. And I click assign to the selection. I click outside, and as you can see, this is black now. We can go back to the solid view without the X-ray. I go here, and we can do some cuts. So I will do some cuts, Control R here, and more at the end. I click outside to confirm. I do exactly the same here, and I can click outside to confirm. So this is okay. And now what we can do, we can select the face below. I press E. It's already Z. I press E again, enter, S to scale a little bit like this. Okay. To have something more realistic at the end. Okay, we are almost done. So what we need to do, it's some cuts. So I go here. So we need to do some cuts. So I click this one with shift, this one. I go to select loop rings, and we can do the edge here. We can do right click and subdivide. After I take this one, and this one, select loops, G, Z, and we can move a little bit like this. After we can go for an extrusion, so I press E, Z, a little bit up, not too much, okay. We can bevel, so I bevel here. It will be less, okay, like this. And we can put 2 segments like this, okay. After I click, I press this one, I press Alt, I press this one, and I press this one, and I go to select loop, edge loops, okay. And after you press S, scale a little bit like this. We can do another extrusion here, like this, a little bit on the top. Not too much, like this. Okay. Okay, seems good. I exit mode, and you can see we have this nice relief there. We need to do the same on the top, so I go here. I select the loop, I press shift, and after I go to select loop, edge loops, and normally it selects everything, but here it's more complex, so we can do that manually like here. Okay, just when it's done, I go to the bevel, and I just do the bevel like this. Okay, and you can put 2 segments to have the middle here. I select that with Alt. I press S to scale a little bit like this, as you can see. I do an extrusion with E and Z a little bit on the top to move a little bit here. Okay. Okay, and we can repeat the same operation on the top. So I go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go here, I press Alt, I select the bevel, I do a small bevel on the top like this, not too big, okay. And you can put 2. And after I select the middle, I press Alt, I press S to scale a little bit inside, not too much, and E, Z, a little bit extrude on the top. Okay. After we can go back to the material, so I go here, okay, And now we can change the color. So I go here to go faster. I go to the edit mode. I select faces. I select all faces here. I go to the X-ray mode. I select like this to have the back face also selected. I go here to select checker deselect. And after we need to apply a material on that. So I press plus, new, and I call that white rocket. I assign, I click outside, I press 0.2, I remove the X-ray mode, and now we can check. Okay, we can check, and we have this. Okay, now we need to put some cut to have a nice transition. So I go to the solid view, I press Ctrl R on the top, and I move a little bit to have something more like this. I do the same below, Ctrl R, and I move a little bit down like this. Now we can check if everything is better, and as you can see, it's much better. I think we are almost done. We need the metal tube on the top, so I press on the solid view here, Shift A, mesh. So we can change the parameter for the cylinder 6 and 0.1. So I select the object, I press G, Z to move on the Z-axis. Okay. And now we can add a modifier on this, and it will be the subdivision surface. I go closer, so I go to 2, G, Z like this, and we can do a Ctrl R on the top. So I press Tab, Ctrl R on the top to have more something like this. Okay, not too sharp. We will add a material, so I go to material, new, metal, and we can put something gray. It's perfect. For metallic we will put 1, and for roughness 0.2. Okay, and we can check. We can a little bit light like this. We don't have our environment here, but that's it. Okay, I take everything, I press G, Z to move a little bit on the top like this. G, Z like this on the top. We have this part is too much below, so what I can do, as you can see, this one it's okay, but maybe we can take all the elements, G, C, like this. Okay. Normally the two elements here must be on the same position than behind. So we can go here. Okay. After you select faces, this faces, okay. Select, link it, shift, select link it. Okay, you can go to the right view, G, Z, a little bit move on the top to be on the ground like this. Okay, and everything is done. We can check here. To be more realistic, I have increased a little bit the base color here, something more brighter for the gray, and we can check here. Okay, so this is finished for the tutorial to make the rocket for Tintin, and I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. See you for next tutorial. Bye.